Today, we're going to talk about one of the most terrifying new weapons of World War I, the Zeppelin bombing raids. In 1915 and 1916, German Zeppelins or airships would fly over London and other British cities dropping bombs that killed hundreds of civilians. But why did Germany do this, and how did it affect the war? Before I explain, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe because it really helps me out. Thanks. The first was to demonstrate the power of the German military. Germany hoped that by showing they could bomb London, they would scare the British into ending the war. This is an example of strategic bombing. But this didn't really matter because the Zeppelins were mainly used for psychological warfare. The very fact that these giant airships were floating over London caused terror among the civilian population. A group of 5 Zeppelins flew over London and dropped bombs. As I said before, the accuracy was poor and most of the bombs missed their target, but the raids continued throughout the war until the end. The raid caught the city by surprise and caused widespread panic. Well, they show us the importance of air defense. If the British had been better prepared, they may have been able to shoot down more Zeppelins and reduce the number of civilian casualties. They also show us the impact of new technology. The development of hydrogen airships changed the way war was fought. For the first time, civilians on the home front were directly targeted. This would become a common tactic in future wars. But it was the Zeppelins of World War I that started it all. Although only a few bombs exploded, the raid was considered a success. The British had no air defense, and the psychological impact was devastating. Strategic bombing is when a military targets important areas like London in order to weaken the enemy's will to fight. Today, we remember the Blitz, the bombing of London during World War II, but during World War I, it was the Zeppelins that first introduced the idea of bombing London. So there were 2 main reasons why Germany used Zeppelins to bomb London. The second reason was simply to cause destruction and death on the British home front. By targeting London, Germany hoped to make the war more unpopular in Britain. They believed that if people started to lose faith in the war, then the government would be more likely to make peace. Now, the Zeppelins weren't very accurate, so most of the bombs missed their target. Well, since the beginning of the war, Germany had been developing new ways to fight in the air. In 1910, the German army began experimenting with hydrogen airships. These airships were huge, often over 200